Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Fuel Your Drive. I'm your host, Josh York, and today is going to be about grit and determination and how I build gym guys for my parents' dining room. People ask a lot of questions about this, so I'm going to dive into some detail. And it's pretty quite simple. People think it's make it a lot more complicated than it is, but look, I've always been into personal training. I've loved helping people. I always like to say it's great to make a living, but it's much better to make a difference. And at the end of the day, you know, when you can actually help someone achieve a dream, a goal, losing some weight, helping them make their sports team, there's not a better feeling in the world. So that's why I love what we do. But for me, I was a trainer throughout high school. I got my certification, love training people, love helping them, like I said. And I just knew being a personal trainer is not scalable, but I continued doing it throughout college. And, I got my degree, got a 9 to 5 job. I was working in a marketing firm, and I was working with probably some of the most negative people I've ever encountered in my life. Like, I actually felt the negative energy pouring down the walls when I would come in for the day. So I couldn't do it anymore. I said, you know what, I got to go back and follow my passion. And my passion is obviously fitness. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go back now. Keep in mind, when I was personal training, I had to actually literally give up all my clients to take this job. So I gave up all of my clients, and I was making a significant amount of money. I was making over $200,000 a year as a personal trainer. And this is like going back to like right out of high school and college. I gave that all up to take a $35,000 job in a marketing firm, because I figured this is how I start my career and this is what I'm going to do. Well, I had to start all over again and build up my clientele all over again. So I started from scratch, built up my clients. And then one day, one of my clients came in late and said, Josh, I wish you can come to my house. I just don't have any equipment. And that's kind of how the light bulb went on. And I said, the light went on, excuse me. And I said to myself, wow, how great would this be if I got a van, stocked it with all the necessary equipment, enough equipment to provide you a fantastic workout, 365 days a year, backed by our 3 Cs, convenient, customized, and creative workouts. And we go out, service clients anywhere from their home, office, pool, park, place of worship, hospitals, senior homes. We run PE programs for schools, do a lot of work with B2B stuff, but businesses, corporations, small and large. And that's how GYMGUYZ was born. Initially, the vans were white. Then we changed them to red, which is our brand color. And also, just so you know, GYMGUYZ is an acronym. It stands for Get You Motivated, Goals Uniquely Yours, Zero Excuses. And it took off like crazy. Literally, I saved up about $15,000. I used to caddy at a country club. I actually hate golf. I would rather watch paint dry. Yeah, it is just not fast enough for me. As you know, I'm a hockey player. And if you don't know that, now you do know. I like speed. I like fast. Too slow for me. But I do like driving a golf cart. But I learned how to be a caddy, and I was making a lot of money. And I saved all that money over the summer. And I literally spent everything except $2,000, just enough money to help me operate for 2 weeks. And I said, do or die. And I do that all the time. It was either I'm going to make it or I'm not. And within 2 weeks, I probably worked, I'd say close to 21 hours each day. There were some days I didn't sleep. I pulled all-nighters, and I was marketing like crazy. And I was just doing old school stuff, flyers, right? Putting out flyers. I was building relationships with different businesses. I was networking, and clients started coming in. Now, this sounds very easy as I say it, but there was nothing easy about this. It is the most challenging thing in the world. When I started hiring trainers, just so you have perspective on this, I went through 60 plus trainers before I kept one for longer than 3 months. So think about that. For the first 3 months, people were quitting left and right. I had someone I'll never forget. I hired this new trainer. He might even be listening to this, so I didn't want to give him a shout out because he screwed me so bad. I called all these clients. I had them all excited to work with their new trainer. And the morning of, he had 8 appointments that day. He called me at 5:58. His appointment was at 6 a.m. I said, Josh, I'm not doing this. This sucks. The keys are in the van. Take care. I'm going to take a cab home. This is before even Uber was around, right? So literally quit. And now most people in a situation like that would say, and this is where the grit comes in, right? This is where the determination comes in. Most people in a situation like that would say, all right, I guess I got to cancel all the clients. Listen, there's always a way. And if you make excuses, you're never going to succeed. So what I did was I ended up calling all those clients, telling them there was a little bit of a challenge. The trainer can't make it today, but you're having a very lucky day. And they're like, why is that? I said, because you're going to make some friends today. I had all these people, because I was still training people too at that time. I had all these clients joined with my clients and I created group sessions, and I didn't miss one session. I got it all in. And in the background, as I was going through this challenge, I was making sure I was onboarding and hiring other people. And like another 2 weeks, I had someone else ready to go. And that person actually ended quitting after a week with me, right? I'm still working in my parents' dining room, selling the dream, the vision of where we're going, where we're headed. And people were screwing me left and right. So it was very challenging. But once things started to get moving, I knew I had to build out systems, because you're never going to scale without systems. If you don't have the right operating systems in your company, you're never going to grow. You got to be able to work on the business, not in the business. And the more I developed those systems, we went from literally writing and punching cards to, an entire POS system, to a CRM system for follow-up with clients. Like I had everything on like these index cards. I used to line them up by the days of the week, and I would move them based on which day it was, so I know who to follow up with. And I had them literally all on like one of those cork boards. But we've come a long way from there, I have to tell you. And I still have some of those sheets, which is very funny to look at. But at the end of the day, the point I'm making is there's nothing easy about it. It's easy to say, not easy to do. And also what's more challenging for us is we created a new category, right? It never existed. So people used to laugh at me and tell me, oh, Josh, you should open a gym. This is the most stupidest idea I've ever heard of in my life. But I always believed in myself. And I'm telling you that you have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, great things are going to happen. But then, the plan from day one was always to franchise. And in 2014, I franchised. And I don't know if you know the story, but I was getting ready to go on my first vacation. I haven't taken a vacation in almost 8 years. And I went to Cabo. We just got approved for franchising. It was the last week of December. And the whole time I'm there and I'm on a flight, I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to sell my first franchise? How am I going to sell my first franchise? Because what's so crazy, if you look at the stats, I think it's close to almost 60% of people that franchise never sell one. It's like a crazy, crazy number. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's a high number. It's definitely in that range somewhere. But anyway, so on a buffet line that night, because we didn't have time to make a reservation at a restaurant. We landed late. And getting my dessert ready, and I love brownies, as you know, fudgy, gooey brownies, and I had a plate of like 20 of them. And this guy was looking at me. He's like, "What are you doing with all those?" And we started talking. Next thing led to the next question, which was, what do you do for a living? And I was telling him about the franchise, and he said, "Man, my son's gonna love this." And that's how we sold our first franchise. 2 weeks later, I closed, and that was Sam Langer and his partner Jimmy Bonavita, and they opened up the first franchise. And then I pitched that story to Entrepreneur. That story went viral after the full page story in Entrepreneur, which I got for free. And that's how I sold the next couple. And from there, it took off. But it's about grit. It's about determination. You are going to suffer severely. You're going to have tons of pain. And winning doesn't care how you feel. Winning doesn't care about your emotions. Your mind's got to be stronger than all that. And if you don't work on building your mindset to be resilient and not quit and never give up, you're never going to succeed in anything, period. So that's the gist of the story. I just wanted to give you a little insight to it. But look, today, we're the largest in-home, on-site, and virtual personal training company in the world. We service over 1,350 cities throughout the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. And we're just getting started. Guys, fuel your drive. Please leave a review and share this episode with as many people as you can. Till next time, take care.